Scorpio Ophiuchus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for August 22nd through the 28th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so this week, very important here in the astrology. Essentially what we've got is a Grand Cross in the sky, and this is involving the moon, who is going to be in the third quarter phase this week. So third quarter phase, it's a time of challenging ourselves, and this could be challenging ourselves personally and then even also spiritually, as I like to call it. And it's in regards to the full moon from last week. A lot of you guys had some insights relating to your third and or your fourth house. So it may have been in regards to how your mind works with the third house, maybe the importance of communication, maybe something came to the forefront about something you're learning or reading or writing, that kind of thing, or the importance of exchanging in your life. Yeah, some insights about that. The other area is your home, family, and health, if you guys had some insight about that. So whatever it's been, though, it's a good week to challenge yourself to maybe move some of those things forward, or whatever those insights may have been. So within that context, we do have a very important aspect, in fact, especially important for you Scorpio and Ophiuchuses, because Mars, your traditional ruler, is going over Saturn in your first house. So this is, first of all, been over the past year off and on with Saturn transiting your first house. Perhaps you're bringing in some more responsibilities into your life. Maybe you're having to really tap into that discipline and patience and really work hard towards the things you want. You know, the first house is our desires and things. But Saturn here puts on a sort of limitation to that. But that's what we want to do, is we want to limit ourselves. You know, that's where discipline comes into the picture, and taking things one step at a time. And through that, you guys can be building these needs, these desires, these things you want over the long term. Now, recently, though, your ruler has shifted into the first house over the past 2 or 3 weeks. So you guys have likely felt a bit of maybe motivation and drive to move some of these things forward and maybe be independent in your life. Or maybe it's been more active for some of you since Mars was leaving that more receptive and spiritual 12th house. But whatever that shift has been, now we have your ruler here, Mars, going over Saturn. And so there's definitely this emphasis of patience, of refinement, of seeing the big picture this week. And I think that's a great way of working with it, especially in regards to anything that you might be building or have been building roughly this year. And over the past couple weeks, what's recently motivated you, you can certainly take that into the long term, build it into something real and long lasting. Now, since Saturn has been squaring up to Neptune, we will of course have Mars squaring up to Neptune here this week. So especially for you guys, again, your ruler, the importance of acceptance and doing your best to live in the present moment, which is, in my opinion, the best way to work with Neptune. You know, Neptune, if we get too caught up into the future in terms of what we're building or these things we're working on, or possibly with home, family, or health, which has been Neptune in your fourth house, if we get too caught up trying to figure it out, it can create confusion. It can create doubt. In other words, if we're projecting into the future. And so that's why it's so important to live in presence, to accept as best as we can, to surrender to this divine process, if you will, which is essentially showing us that there are things unfolding much larger than we can see, right? Because Neptune is that flow of life, and we don't know exactly how things are going to unfold, but we certainly can connect to that flow. It may be challenging with this square, but that's why it's so good to challenge ourselves to have more acceptance and living in that present moment this week. All right, so that's going to be the two most important aspects, but we do have some nice things or easier things lifting things up this week, and that's seen by Jupiter, who Mercury is going to go over Jupiter on Monday to kick off the week, and then the week ends with Venus over Jupiter. So Jupiter is about inspiration, it's about possibilities, it's about seeing that big picture in terms of those possibilities. So this has been particularly with your aspirations. Jupiter has recently shifted into your 11th house over these past couple weeks roughly, So you guys can certainly be seeing the potential when it comes to future things, when it comes to your hopes, your wishes. Some of you may even have opportunities to get involved with groups or communities. A lot of you will be in contact with your networks or getting reestablished with friends or those network circles. So it's an excellent week for that stuff because we do have these conjunctions. At the beginning, maybe there's some insight about that. Maybe you guys are seeing some new understanding about these aspirations, either for yourself or for the community, for the group or the organization. You know, that future-oriented stuff can certainly be emphasized, and a bit of positive thinking can certainly help you see potentials and opportunities there in that 11th house. Now, at the end of the week with Venus, this is more about perhaps enjoying. It's a great weekend for connecting with friends, enjoying things on that level. Maybe internet, social media, maybe technological stuff can be quite enjoyable. And again, Venus, Jupiter, very nice, seeing those potentials there. Now, Venus does rule your 7th house of relationships, so you guys could be, maybe some of you, seeing some new potentials with that, or a new beginning with that, in a sense also. With Mercury, Mercury does rule your 8th house as well. So at the beginning of the week, maybe some deeper understandings about things, what really matters in life, but it's very inspiring there. All right, so those are the most important aspects here this week, with the emphasis especially on your ruler Mars, and having that, again, persistence with Saturn, seeing the big picture, one step at a time, and then that acceptance. And all of this, again, can be very constructive with what you could be building at the moment. All right, so Scorpio Ophiuchus, hope you guys have an excellent week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week.